Oh yeah, what's the deal? Everybody gotta say I said passe, paso passe. Who got respect to quality of qua? You know, most definitely it is Gemini season, right? So with Gemini season being said, this video is for Sagittarius. You will be under attack, right? Um, I've noticed that Libras are definitely people are not just Libras, but certain signs are moving according to the spectrum of the planets, the cosmology order. So, with that being said, yeah, if you wonder why you being attacked and you haven't done anything, or you being attacked and you done something, but you only get caught during certain times of the season, because it's the astrology order of how the planets are rotating. So if the planets are rotating in one direction, everybody is going to have the energy of that rotation. So meaning like there's always a poles, a positive and a negative. With Gemini season is fully pulling the negative side of the positive side. Now, with Gemini being my fortune, is the best opportunity for increase, but as well, it has a backlash to what increase I have. I have to be mindful of, and also I have to be considerate of my power, because I would be attacked. I would be attacked. Like normally, people more into my business than they would be their own business, because they're on their Gemini side is coming out. Like meaning like Libra is the air sign. So Gemini being the air sign, they go through all the changes. And with those changes come personality changes. This is why people routines they change, right? So they change based on the season. Same way is why things change. People's schedule change as well. Same reason why you put a date of birth on the job application, so they can know what position best fits you based on your astrological order, because God is over man and beast at all times. So with that being said, being spiritual means not only just eating right, because that has nothing to do with it, but that can increase your powers as well. And being normal, because those that you have to give people a voice. You have to give man a voice. You have to give your lower self a voice. A man is a reflection as a man. A man is a reflection of me as a mirror. So a lot of times men build with women because they can't build with men, because women also require a certain amount of nature, a certain amount of giving. A man's job is to provide for a woman. So I also heard from a so-called person that was a leader that he only deals with women that can take care of themselves. But women look to be built, right? People look to be built. So not just men, but people. So if you can't build yourself and you live off of people, that can only last so long. But the catch 22 to that is pulling people up to where you are level. If you're an upper class level and you married to a lower class person, you have to pull them up to your level, or else you will be a target, especially based upon the astrological order and how people are responding to the season, meaning Gemini season. So when people don't understand real spirituality, you could tell because they combat the situation in a fight or flight risk, meaning that they either go passive aggressive or they argue, right? But if you know the play, you don't have to argue. You can govern yourself accordingly, which is a lot of work. It requires a lot of energy to provide emotional support, to provide financial support, especially to your mate, to your wife, to your husband, to your significant other, to your kids, to your boss, to your teacher. All of these are energies. So when it says E equals MC squared, the energy pulling from that also comes with an opposite energy based upon the energy of the astrological order due to the day, the season, the time. and everything else. But being spiritual is being aware, being able to see, and also being able to hear. So a lot of spiritual leaders who can't communicate with themselves, meaning men, they also communicate more to women, and women are able to communicate to other women based on the knowledge that they hear from man. But if man can't express himself as a man without emotions, then that's called emotional immaturity. That's not emotional intelligence. So knowledge can't be displayed at a high level, but the face value of the where it's coming from, his morality, his character, and his value, is called a double entry. So a double entry is a figure of speech or phrase designed to have two meanings: one that is obvious and innocent, and a second that is one is often risque, suggestive, or socially taboo. So how it works: the phrase relies on wordplay, such as puns, homophones, or vague phrasing to allow the speaker or to stay polite in polite company while signaling a hidden nature of message to the listener. So a lot of people deflect in a debate because of their proof, right? So if I have proof on Simba and I try to present that proof against Simba, his reaction would be, "The time is now. I showed you how. The time is now." So rappers use double entry. They speak knowledge and they speak wisdom, but their emotional unintelligence is at a lower level, meaning they react in trying to distract you with a double entry. So that's how you use your discernment against a wolf in sheep's clothing is a double entry, meaning like a person may talk a good talk, but he's not walking the walk. And as a responsible person, whether I'm guilty on anything that I do, I've always accept my responsibilities and give everybody a voice. People that have double a leader that has a double entry on his message, that has is a Yakub, is a Yakub, right? A Yakub. He is somebody that's tricking you with knowledge, but he's only able to relate to a divine feminine energy because of their compassion, of their understanding. But as a man is able to know another man's game by not only his actions but also by his words, based on what a man has to give. I have to give understanding. I have to give compassion to my clients. I have to give understanding. I have to give compassion to my people, my family, my wife, my, you know what I'm saying, God. If I don't give my boss, if I don't give compassion and understanding to these people, and I use a double entry like I'm a rapper when it comes to knowledge, to not trying to gain the information and the wisdom of the people in a non-biased or a non-gatekeeping type of way, I am also considered a Yakub. I'm doing the trickology. So you're not just looking the part with the long hair, the dreads, the feet like bronze, the hair like wool. And this because you know knowledge doesn't mean that you have to put in you're not allowed to put in your pay your dues. Peace to the gods, I love myself. So please be careful. All praises be to Allah, to the double entries, right? Entendere. A double entry. That is a psychology tactic that is used to gain manipulation of the people for the value, so that the people can have the energy from the words of the value to profit for the person's own personal agenda. Because who you say he is not really who you say he is. I claim to be a spirit, but I will tell you I'm a saint. Make sure y'all remember that. Peace to the gods and love myself. Like, share, and subscribe.